Well, I did a post, 40-minute warning. No one saw it, or no one commented. Shows there's one person here now. Let me guess, it's Debbie Sue. Say hello. I have a subject to talk about if no one else has one they want to talk about. Oh, hey, Ace. What state do you live in? Because I think you might be close to Sally since you're up early. I'm in Texas. Did you see the gift box I sent Sally? Did you see her video she put up? She sent me a picture this morning of her drinking out of her new pumpkin water glass. Oh, you live in London. Okay. Well, did you see this picture I just showed you of Sally with her new glass? Pumpkins all over it. I guess she's still using that same straw. It's glass. That seems dangerous to me, but that's what it came with. Well, you're probably having a little bit cooler weather than we're having. It's 89 right now and it's 2 p.m. I don't know if I said that you live in London. I know I read it, but I don't know if I said it. And you say, I did see it. The mushroom was really cute. She loved it. Yes. I was showing my stuff. I don't remember how I was showing it. Anyway, it might have been in a video. And she's like, oh, I love it. And it was actually this little one here. And she said she loved it. And I was like, well, Hobby Lobby's a little bit of a drive for her. And I was like, well, it's not that far for me. I'll just go get you one. Then she saw something else she liked better, which I can't remember which one it was now. But, oh, it was the gnome with the gnome girl with the hat and the sunflower. And then I went back and picked her up some more stuff. Yeah, she was really, I think I was as excited for her to get the box as she was to get the box. So, Ace, Sally says that you are 20. Are you in college or are you working a job? Or maybe both. I'm 62 and I retired the end of this May. So if you saw the video, Ace, you saw that she dropped me on my head too. I was so proud of her with that video because she was waiting on me to get home to do a FaceTime with her. And then I was like, oh, I thought you'd make a video out of it. And she just like that, put it all together. She did really good. She's a really pure-hearted person, but I study engineering at university right now. Good for you. Good for you. Do you like school? I didn't like the idea of going to college. I never did go to college. I was married at 18 and my husband went to college and I think he liked it. How is retired life going? It is going good. I'm still adjusting to not being around people all day. I am a people person. I know a lot of people here on YouTube say they're introverts, and I am not an introvert. I love being around people, but I don't feel the need to have to be around them all the time. And I've gone to like the senior citizen center, and while it was welcoming and it was good, I just don't think it was really for me. I only went twice. I don't think Sally's going either, but I think well, I know Paula is going. I'm sure you know who Paula is. So what time is it right now where you're at? You got married very young, but I also don't like university too much either, but have to push by it. Yeah. Well, it definitely made a difference in the amount of money that I made working and the amount of money that my husband made working. I mean, the first couple of years was really rough because I was on the West Coast and we moved to the Midwest up to Michigan. Excuse me. his first year out of college, and we didn't make enough money to survive on that. And I was pregnant. I was 7.5 months pregnant when we moved. So it was a culture shock to move from a small industrial town to a very populated place like Detroit. We were about 15 minutes, well, 15 miles or so outside of Detroit, but that's where he worked. And we had one car, and we got there in September and it slammed right into winter with snow. And I wasn't used to that. Like, I was used to like snow skiing and stuff, but not like walking out your front door and you have to shovel the driveway before you can go anywhere. And let's see. It's currently 8:06 p.m. Okay. So you said you're going to school at night. Okay. And also, of course, I know Paula. She's an amazing person. But if you don't mind me asking, what degree did your husband major in? He got a computer engineering degree, and he did really well. Unfortunately, we did divorce after 15 years, but we moved down here to Texas about a year after he started. It was with the same company, and he kept being promoted over the years. And so that was the only job he got out of college. And he retired at 55 with plenty of money for however long, but unfortunately he passed away in 2024. As silly as it may sound, that did have a major effect on me because I met him when I was 15, and then we were dated for 3 years and married for 15. So it was, he was the father of my kids, and it was very sad. My son came by that morning. It was Thanksgiving morning, and said that his dad had died. And so it was just very sad. There were 3 people. Now there's 2. I should tell Sally that I'm on here because I thought she told me to text her next time, but I'll tell her I'm live. See if she can come on. I'm sorry for bringing it up. I had no idea. It's truly heartbreaking. It's a dark, dark moment, but it's a cycle of life. Yes, it is. And I mean, I'm okay now. That was November of 2020. Did I say 24? I'm sorry, it was 23. So it's been almost 2 years, and I'm good. I mean, it's I still, of course, still have memories from those 18 years that are good, and some not so good. But as time goes on, you tend to remember the good over the bad. I mean, unless it's just horrific anyway. Well, I just texted Sally. Let's see if she answers. So it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you are 6 hours ahead. So when Sally goes on live, it's around lunchtime for you then, I would imagine. Because I think that you're on there in the mornings. Very few times do I get up. We're only an hour difference, but she's already going. My tag is out, I think. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. There we go. Yes. Okay. So do you just work on homework during the day then? My son also went to college. His degree is in finance and business, and he went to work. He's going to be 39 in November, and he went to work for the police department when he started college, and he was their jailer, and they paid his way through school for the 4 years and books and everything. And then when his senior year came, he decided to move out to his own apartment, and he still worked nights as a jailer and went to school during the day and paid all of his own bills. Well, there's Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Ace and I have been talking about education, college, and so on. He says, yes. Ace says, yes, it's very mentally draining. I wish I could work while studying, but it's just not manageable. Well, the nice thing about, oh, hi, Donna. We're talking about education, college education. The nice thing about my son being a jailer is that it's in a suburb of Dallas, and it's not super busy in the jail. So he had hours to do his homework while he just, waited and got somebody booked in and put him in a cell, and then would go right back to his homework. And oddly enough, because of his age and going to high school in our town and playing football in our town, quite a few people that got arrested he went to school with, and they'd be probably drunk and disorderly and so on, and they'd be like, hey, yell his name, and everything was fine. Then they're like, okay, just put me in the cell, it'll be all right. I thought that was funny. He had a lot of funny stories from that job too. Well, he still does have funny stories. He's a sergeant now. Let's see here. Ace says, hey, Debbie, hope you're doing amazing. And Debbie says, hi, Donna. And Debbie says, doing good, Ace. Donna says, I have one grandson in college and one looking for post-college to complete his degree. That's great. I don't think college is the beginning of all and the end of all, but I do think it's good. And Debbie says, that's great, Donna. And Donna says, I know, I'm jumping in, went back to college in my mid-30s. Good for you. And Debbie agrees. Yeah, I'm not the studious type person that likes to open books and study and take tests and so on. So it's, I miss that, but it's okay. And Donna says, both grandsons want to be physical therapists. I think the mental therapist like Rhonda does would be harder, because you take some of the stuff you talked about home with you. I think Ace may have left. We only have 2 people on here. And Debbie says, that's a good career, Donna. Yeah, people are always getting hurt. My son said you can find stable employment in medical, law enforcement, and education. So I think that would go along with the medical. Donna says, it was a struggle working and going to college. Yeah, before you got here, Donna, I just said that my son moved out his senior year of college and went to his own apartment, and he worked nights as a jailer and then went to school during the day. Oh, you did, Debbie? You went to school full-time and then to college? Or, yes, you worked full-time and then went to college. So did anybody see the title of the live? Is that anything that's interesting to you? Because if it's not, I can just make a video later about it. I think I commented on your video, Donna, about your live where you just picked the ball up and ran with it. Okay. So do y'all think that you have softened with age? I think I remember like my grandparents, a little bit thicker, a little bit squishier, but they moved a little slower. They spoke a little slower, and it was just relaxing to be around them. They were comforting. Debbie says, let's talk about it. Donna says, my body has. Yes, we are softer, but that's a good thing. We have more cushion if we fall. So I put for myself, so feel free to add in here if you have anything. Just the slowing down. Part of it is actually literally like I get out of bed slower, get to the bathroom slower, that kind of thing. But also, I don't want to say mentally slowing down, but I'm not in the big hurry to do things like I was before. It's like, if I need to do it, I'll do it. But if it can wait until tomorrow or it's not that important, then I'm going to be inclined to do that. Not to put it off, but not to push myself. Donna says everything has slowed down since I retired. In general, it has softened. And I also see too that, like, since we do slow down a little bit, those activities that we used to be involved in and enjoy, they're maybe not quite as enjoyable anymore. It's better to be at home. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm antisocial because I'm not. This is social to me, but yet you don't have to get ready and drive somewhere or actually like entertain somebody with a meal at your house kind of thing. And Debbie says, I'm slowing physically, of course, but my attitude toward life in general has softened. Yes, I find myself cutting people more slack or trying to put myself into their place. And I think that I'm more compassionate, I guess is the way to say it. I try to think like maybe there's a reason that they're acting that way, because when I was working all the time and trying to get everything done here, I was rushed and I would make a snap decision instead of thinking about it long enough to cut somebody a break. Donna says, yes, I feel the same way. And I think we've talked about this before, on several of us have, is noticing more things. You know, an example I thought of this morning was, I remember driving through the Willamette Valley in Oregon and my parents, pointing out, look at the trees. There's a red one, there's a yellow one, there's an orange one. And I'm like, yeah, it's a tree. It's a tree. And now I can look at a tree and say, hey, that leaf is changing colors. It's beautiful. Or like the last 2 days I've walked, there are a few leaves on the ground. I don't know whether they changed color before they dropped or they actually just fell, but regardless, I noticed little things like that. And Donna says, yes, I feel the same way, as well as she feels more empathetic as I get older too. But she finds hearing the dogs barking extremely annoying. We don't have dogs like right around our house that bark. There is a dog that barks there's about 4 or 5 houses to get to the park entrance, and that dog's there's several dogs actually behind a fence, but I'm past them quickly so they don't bother me. If they were right next door, it probably would. Hey, there's Catherine. Hi, Catherine. She says, good morning, everybody. I got up and I'm having breakfast with you. Yay! We are talking about softening with age. And so far we've talked about the fact that we are slowing down, not as much mentally, but as in physically, and not maybe the hurry to get everything done in one evening because we got to go back to work the next day. And I think you're still working, so that may not apply to you. And noticing more things like the changing of the leaves instead of, yeah, cool, it's a red tree, like I did when I was a kid. But wow, that's a beautiful shade of red. And I look for it now more than just noticing it. And Debbie says hello to Catherine. And Catherine says, I notice the small things too. As Tracy says, the little big things or the big little things, is it? Yes, it is. It's amazing how much joy those things can bring. And, fall comes and goes so quick as far as the changing of the leaves, that if you don't see it when it's there for that week or whatever it is, you've missed it. And then the trees are bare, and that's just not as pretty as they are with the leaves. Oh, Catherine, you did retire. Because I thought you were so much younger than, I thought you were still in, or maybe you are. I thought you were in your 50s. And Catherine is saying hello to Debbie. How did I miss that, Catherine? I guess, I don't know. Oh, and there's Mrs. G. Hello. So Donna says, not working now. I really enjoy the changing seasons more. I don't know if I just read that. And then, of course, Mrs. G is here. Oh, Catherine, you turned 61 yesterday. Well, you look pretty young. On your videos, you look pretty young. And Mrs. G is saying hello to Catherine. And Debbie says hello to Mrs. G. Happy belated birthday, says Donna. Be Catherine. Oh my gosh, I just missed yesterday. Yes, happy birthday. I am not being a very good host. See, I told you I'm not used to people coming over anymore or going places. So Donna kind of already touched on this, but being more patient with other people. And yeah, I don't get so upset if the line is long or if, hey, quit. If the line is long or somebody can't, get whatever they need out of their purse, like before, I feel like, come on, I'm in a hurry. But in turn, it makes me more patient with myself. The things that take me longer to do than they used to do, or they're a little bit harder, like the whole crafting things and stuff, the fingers just don't bend and work and tie knots, or they're really sore when I'm done. So I'm a little more patient with myself as well. And Catherine says hello to Mrs. G and thank you for the happy birthday. Donna asks, how long have I been retired? I retired on May 31st of this year. So I set up my channel, I think it was February 21st, but toward the end of February as my retirement hobby, and kind of got sort of, not really a routine, but like how to do it so that when May came, I'd be off and running. And I think that worked well for me. And Mrs. G says, hey, Debbie Sue, happy birthday, Catherine. And she says, hey, Donna. Donna says, oh, okay, recently then. And she says, happy birthday. Or no, she says, hi, hi, heartily happy. Catherine says, I am pretty wrinkly in real life. Well, in the mornings is the worst. Things smooth out a little bit throughout the day. And it starts to, get tired by the end of the day. And Donna, you were asking about how long I've been retired. I've heard so many stories of people talking about, they hate it and they end up going back to work or they're very unhappy. And I know I'm too new into it, so I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. But I just think it's going to be okay. I think that, it's not like I went on this big vacation and I came back and I'm like, oh, this is it. No, I retired to here, not even as much as a night away. And I enjoy the extra time I have. I enjoy getting up with my husband, seeing him off to work, and drinking coffee before I get ready for the day. And I like starting my day at 9:00 instead of 6:30. Kath, oh, I already read that. Donna says, I did that, Evie. I temped for a while and then worked part-time for 2 years. Finally quit a year ago. Did you get bored, Donna? I just think I can find enough stuff to do. I did videos on it, I guess it was this summer, on repainting the little, I guess they call it the water closet where the toilet is. And we're going to put a new shower in. We do that. I'm going to paint the bathroom part of it, but I would like to open the windows before I paint. And, that keeps me busy. I like little projects like that, at least that I can kind of clean up. I was putting my paint rollers and brushes in plastic and then putting them in the fridge so that I didn't have to clean them and I could use them the next day. Catherine says, it took me a year to find my groove when I retired. Since I restarted my channel, I'm good. I got so bored initially. Well, you were, though. If you're 61 now, that means, what year did you say you retired? 24. So were you 59 and a half, 60 and a half? I'm really bad at math. But I turned 62 in May and I retired in May. And I had been very much looking forward to it. A lot of it was because my job had gotten very stressful and there had been a lot of changes, and it was really, I used to love my job. I was there 31 years and it just took a lot of the joy out of going to work. I was dreading it. The last probably 3 years, I really dreaded going. And Donna says, I missed not having a purpose in life. Identified as an accountant, it really surprised me. Well, I get that. I mean, some people just like to have somewhere to go, either a few days a week or every, part of every day. And Catherine says to Donna, sharing transformative life lessons on YouTube is my purpose. Yes. Yeah, 59. Oh, I did good math. And Donna says, I will have to check out your channel, Catherine. And Catherine has 2 channels. I don't know what the name of the other one is, but I know it's got a red background behind her face. And Mrs. G says, I'm ready to retire now, but I'm not sure how I feel if I did. But you are also in your 50s. I'm almost positive I heard you say that. I want to say, I don't know, I want to guess too high. Okay, I thought 55. I could say it now. You said 57. Yeah, 57. I don't think I was ready to slow down enough to retire. I think I would have been going up there hanging out at work to see if I could help out somehow. And everybody at work said, you're going to be back. You're going to hate it. You're going to be back. And I don't think so. Catherine says the second one is YouTube over 60, helping people get started with their channel. Okay, I don't know if I've watched that one or not. I'll write it down though, so I do look at it, because I do like the the tips and tricks and stuff. The ones I don't care for are the ones that are, you have to do this, you have to do that, don't do this and don't do that. And then I'll see a channel that's nearly brand new, under 6 months old, and they sell right. I mean, they're monetized almost immediately, and they didn't do any of the rules that the people teaching. I'm talking about, very, very large channels that teach and run courses and stuff like that. It just wasn't true. And Donna says, I enjoyed retirement for about 6 months and then found some temp jobs. See, that's the kind of stuff that scares me, because June, July, August, I'm just going on 4 months. And I think, oh, I got this down. Maybe I don't. Let's see. Mrs. G says, hubby would drive me crazy. He bugs me enough while I'm working now. I work from home and he acts like I'm not. Oh. Is he retired? Is that why he's there? Or does he work from home too? Donna says, yes, Evie, it's all about how to have a great channel and selling classes. I will say that I do enjoy the helpful channels that tell you how to talk to a camera, because there's a guy, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. Well, there's actually 2 guys, and one of them had a 30-day challenge to just talk on camera, get on camera and talk every day. You don't have to, post it or publish it, but just talk to the camera every day. And I thought, well, I'm going to do it every day. I'm just going to get on there and post. And I mean, it's amazing, because you end up kind of like, it sounds silly, but knowing the camera, like you feel comfortable with it. Kind of like, I guess, if I get in my car and I drive, I am very comfortable driving my own car. But then if I go and get in my husband's pickup and I'm going to drive it, I'm like watching everything. I'm so much more cautious because it's not my car. It's not my daily driver. And that's what I've made my cameras. Now, this camera that's part of my computer, it's in a different spot just by a little bit than the regular camera that I use. And that will throw me off, not to uncomfort, but I'm like looking at what's around me. And that was so helpful to me. And I don't know if I just read this or not, but Donna says, yes, Evie, it's all about how to have a great channel and selling classes. And she also says, Evie, your YouTube qualifies as a job now. Well, but I love it. I mean, I do. I love it. I love all of you. And Catherine says, Mrs. G, my husband does that too. I'll be editing a video and he's constantly coming up and to talk about something. I have to tell him I'll talk to him at lunchtime. My husband will come around the door, especially if he hears me talking, because like the kitchen's right off of this room, and he'll be like he doesn't want to interrupt. And let's see. Okay. At lunchtime. And Debbie says, I get that, Mrs. G. And Mrs. G says he loves to talk so much. He has a lawn business and it's nice and quiet when he's out. But oh Lord, when he gets home or days when it rains, he talks my ears off. That is funny. You know, my husband is a talker too. And I'm not like all the time, but when he gets into something talking, he can really talk. And he likes to shop too. He'll go, he wouldn't mind grocery shopping. And I'm not talking about like, let's go to Target and look for blah, blah, blah. No, like if you want to buy furniture or tools, or he likes to go in and touch everything and check it out. And, there's Paula. Hi, Paula. And Catherine says a 30-day challenge is such a good idea. Yes. And also says, mine loves to talk too. And that is back to Mrs. G. Debbie says, I have earbuds in and my hubby comes in and yaks and yaks and yaks. LOL. Kendi's here. Hey, Kendi. And Donna says, heartily, I don't know your first name. I am single, peacefully quiet at my house. I want to say that is Gina, but she goes by Mrs. G. I think that's her name. Paula, I'm glad I found you. I'm glad you found this live. She says hi to Debbie. Debbie says hi to Kendi. Everybody's saying hey. And Mrs. G says, yes, you ladies know what I mean. It takes me forever to edit my videos because he keeps interrupting me. You know, lock on the door. Kendi says, happy birthday, Catherine. And Donna says, my ex was quiet. I did all the talking. So see, YouTube is perfect then. You have an audience. And hello to everybody. Heartily. Mrs. G has been missing someone. I imagine she's talking to Paula. Everybody's still greeting each other. And Paula, I almost did. You know what? I texted Sally and she never answered me. It's all about you, Paula. Okay. Now that I know that, I will text you next time. So we were going over ways that we've softened as we got older. So I'll just briefly recap. So we noticed that we're slowing down, like physically, or not in the hurry to get things done like we used to. You know, it's not like a mad race to get out the door. And noticing more things like the changing of the leaves instead of like, oh, cute, it's a red tree. More patient with others, and in turn, more patient with ourselves. And I think I left off at that I'm right where I need to be, no matter what's going on that day. If something didn't get done or I don't want to do it, it's okay, because I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I need to be satisfied with that. And I think that's working for me. And I'm still in the process of learning to balance work and rest. Because when I was working, it was like Saturday and Sunday, fly through the house, vacuum, dust, clean the kitchen countertops, try to get through doing everything, and then go work in the yard. And then, you drop into a dead heap into bed and start back to work. So when I get started on something, like, oh, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this, and I need to go, okay, I don't want to make a schedule and say Tuesday is the day that I do this or that, but just wake up in the morning and say, this is what I'm going to do today, and then stop at that, and I can pick something new to do the next day. That was a lot. And Mrs. G says, Mrs. P, it's good to see you in the chat. Are you feeling better? Oh, and Paula says Sally went back to the dentist again this afternoon. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, she did tell me she had another dentist appointment. I forgot about it. But I'm sure she's going to say that I did the live while she was at the dentist. Paula says, hey, Mrs. G, yes, not 100%, but improved. Good, good, good. Mrs. G says, I asked about you on my lunch break live today. Paula says, I'm not live worthy yet. That sounds funny if we didn't know you're talking about YouTube. And Paula says, sorry, I missed that, Mrs. G. I wasn't on much today. And Donna says, I'm kind of the opposite lately. I have a little planner and I plan chores, so I do get basic things done. I am getting things done, but like I wanted to vacuum the living room. And I mean, it's a good sized living room. And, I got the blower out and got all the dog hair out from under. And I did that. I did the windowsills. I was like, well, let me do the kitchen too. So I went in and I did the kitchen. I was like, well, I'll do the entryway. So I did the entry. Well, let me do the hall too. And I went down the hall and I was like, well, let me do the bedroom. I was like, no, I'm not doing the bedroom today. I'm not doing my room and the bird room today. I did finish the kitchen and it, because I'm doing laundry as well. And it's just like, I need to put the brakes on. You don't have to vacuum the entire house in one day. It can, just do some. Paula says, I got a text from Allison asking if I'd seen her short from today, so I got on. Oh, where she's in the car with going to the estate sale. Paula says, hi, Donna. And Donna says, hi, Paula. Mrs. G says, well, Mrs. Paula, you take it easy, rest up. We need you 100%. Yes, that one. Yeah, I did that. I don't know why I did that. I clicked on that right before I went live, and I clicked on it and I looked at it, and it was like 1:57. I was going to start at 2, and I was like, I better just go. So I didn't even leave a comment or a thumbs up. So I think that the next thing I was going to say was experiencing the moment, which kind of reminds me of like the leaves thing. And I make an intentional, what's the word I want? Objective. That's not the word I want. But when I go out and walk every evening, which I've been doing since January 12th, I make it my intention to notice what's going on. There's a bridge I walk over with a canal underneath it, and I look down and I'll count the turtles and the fish I can see. It's not super deep, so you can see them in there. And it's just funny because you see a turtle going by like this, and then a fish goes zoom past the turtle. And I enjoy noticing stuff like that now. Paula says it's hilarious. I'm missing that. Okay, I got 2 more things to say. Donna says, you are going back to childhood. Everything is new and amazing again. I agree with that, Donna. And I think also spending time with the grandkids has done that for me too. Watching how they see the world and see things like the dynamics have switched because the one that's 5 has started pre-kindergarten. And he's going to start kindergarten next year. So now that he's in a classroom and he's having to sit down and do things, when he gets home, he doesn't want to sit down and color or do crafts or make pizza or all the things that I was doing with him. So we did watch some dinosaur videos and looked up some pictures and so on. And he'd touch on my phone And then he would look at it, and then the things that he would point out were things that I hadn't seen or noticed yet. And it's amazing to look at anything they're looking at and what they point out. Hey, Allison, I saw your short, but it was right before my my live, and I did not leave you a thumbs up or a comment. I will go back and do that. I saw you on your way to the estate sale. Kendi says, Mrs. G, did you get 3K? I'm working, so I'm out of the loop. And Paula says, Allison's here. So I also said, I'm content with less entertainment and enjoy quiet time both at home and in nature. Debbie says hello to Allison. Okay, Sally texted me and she said she's at the dentist still. And now she says she's in her car on the way home from the dentist. Sally, Ace was on here. He was the first one on here, and we visited about his college journey while he was, no, somebody else was having lunch. I can't remember. No, because it was 8 o'clock, 8:05, I think, when he got on here, his time. Debbie says, me too, Evie. I'm more content with solitude. And Sally says, cool. Why are you, maybe you're talking instead of texting, but you don't need to be texting. And one thing I'm happy to report is I started this before I retired, and that is good diet with exercise is now a habit. And, you know, everybody's got a different routine or what they desire to do. So I'm not going to like toot my own horn on what I'm doing, but I did start in January and I've slowly modified, but kept it up through now. And I am eating better, good. You know, that's all depending on who you talk to. And I added on here, it's nothing crazy. It's just something that I can do long term because I have gotten into, okay, you know, like when I was younger, I'm going to run 2 miles before work, 3 miles after work. Although I did keep that up for years, actually over 2 different states. But, you know, the lifting weights, am I going to do it for 30 minutes, 4 days a week? Or am I realistically going to do it for 8 to 10 minutes, 3 days a week, and make sure that I walk every night? Whether it's a half a mile up the road until the dog does his business and come back home because it's getting dark, but that I make that commitment, I'm going to do it. I don't miss a day. I have had to miss 4 days since January. Weather, and one night I went to pick my desk up and yada yada. I don't know what the other 2 were. Okay, let's see here. Kendi says, my apologies if I missed anyone because working, just listening. Well, you just keep on working, Kendi K. And Donna says, that reminds me, when I worked, I had to have the radio on to help block out work noise. Now I can't stand any noise. I love the quiet. I prefer the quiet. I mean, honestly, I probably am on YouTube too long, but I don't listen to music and stuff like that. It's just when I'm going to either be doing something and I want like podcast type stuff in my head, or I am sitting down to enjoy watching the people mostly that I know on here. Mrs. G says, Kendi K, believe it or not, I have not even checked today. The only time I've been on YouTube was my live. I've been in meetings today. Ugh, meetings. They're awful when you're tired or you're cold or you're hungry. Allison says, toot toot, it's great. Donna says, good for you, Evie. Mrs. G says, hi, life after 55. Debbie says, that's great, Evie. Paula says, I couldn't run if a bear was chasing me. You would be surprised. Sally says, Evie, that sounds similar to Project Me. Yes, I just started mine a long time ago. Well, it was way back in February 25, you know, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Mrs. G says, Kendi K, I'm going to check now to see what the stats are. And Allison says, hi, heartily. Mrs. G says, Paula, you are hilarious. I hope a bear doesn't get behind you. There was I guess I would call him like a wildlife guy that was in my kids' elementary school. I think his name was Mr. Dunlap. And he had this big boa constrictor snake that was, I swear, she was this big around. Her name was Katie. And she had a house on wheels, like a wagon, but it was a wagon that was built for her. And it was a house, a little peaked roof, had a door and windows. And he'd pull her from classroom to classroom or events on a stage. And she would come out and they'd have all the kids, hold the snake. And he knew a whole lot about wildlife. And they have a sanctuary where he spent some time. I don't know that he was necessarily employed there, but they had rescued wild animals, injured animals, and so on. And he would be there from time to time. And this one night he was doing a presentation on the school stage in the elementary school. And it had some sort of a wildlife thing on the front of it. And he was hilarious too. And he turned around and the back of his shirt said, if you see me running, I'm very scared. Try to keep up. That's what I thought of when Paula says she couldn't run if a bear was behind her. I bet she could. And Paula says, I need noise. Me too, Mrs. G. And Donna says, as far as YouTube, avoiding due to recent events in the news, too upsetting. Yeah, I try to stay out of the news part of it. But it's there sometimes. Paula says, if a bear gets after me, I won't worry if my hair gets combed. Well, if you don't have it combed, maybe he won't be interested. He just thinks you look a little messy. Mrs. G says, hey, Allison. Debbie Sue says, Paula, laughing. Donna, I can't run either. Debbie Sue's laughing. Kendi says, well, I'm feeling green. I ate peanut butter on some keto bread, and I don't think my belly likes that keto bread. I've heard things about the keto bread that, yeah, it's a little gassy. I haven't ever had any of it. I do like peanut butter, though. It's probably going to be several hours before you're feeling better. Are you at work or are you where you have a bathroom? Debbie says, oh no, Kendi K all day. Kendi says, no running for me. I've had a total knee replacement. Gotcha. And Mrs. G says, Kendi, yes, I got 3,018 hours as of September 6th. Oh, that's what stats we're talking about. Okay. Awesome. Paula says, oh no, Kendi K. Debbie says, congrats, Mrs. G. Kendi says, happy, joy, congratulations. So yeah, you're probably the next, well, I don't know how many watch hours Paula has, because she already has the subscribers. But Mrs. G, you're pretty close on both, I think, because I think you're over 800 subscribers, and then your watch hours are over 3,000. So you're getting there. And Paula is happy for you. Mrs. G is excited. Sorry you aren't feeling well, Kendi. Paula says you're going to be monetized soon. And Mrs. G says thanks. Paula has 1,000 hours. Mine as of the end of, well, I don't know when the last report came out. I don't know if it's a September 6th, if they're all on the same schedule, or it was the end of August, because I thought it was end of August, but it was 27. Donna has 3,500 watch hours in the last 2 to 3 weeks have been really slow. Yeah, I don't know if it got slow because school started back up, but I think the views have slowed down a little bit. They'll probably pick up probably when October starts. Mrs. G is happy. And Kendi says, Paula, are you getting close to Are you getting close on watch hours? I think she said up here that she has I can't remember what she said now. Right there. She says she has 1,000 watch hours. And Paula says, Gina, party. We need a cake. She can do a live party and she can wear a hat and her headphones. Oh, okay, good, Kendi. I'm glad you're at home because there's nothing worse than feeling bad when you're away from home and you can't get back home. Mrs. G says, Paula, you have to do more lives and long form videos. And Paula says, Kendi, no, I'm far away. And Kendi says, watch hours have been down overall. Paula, Gina, I know of. But Paula does lives out on her patio too, like after dishes. And those are, I don't know how long they are. Probably not there for the whole thing. And Miss G says, live party and a hat and a cat with a hat. Donna says, I posted a YouTube about budgeting and got lots of watch hours. That was my one big moment. I don't really care. Just keep posting. Yeah. And I've heard so many things about even once you get monetized, then you have to, you're just making just a few cents and then you have to wait till you get $100 before you get it anyway. So it could be months before that even happens. And, I thought, no, not even interested in that because I didn't want the commercials. I just wanted to keep making videos. And then someone told me that there's already commercials on small channels videos. And I don't know, I heard, and I don't know where I heard it, but that the ones that have like 100 views on them may have commercials if YouTube wants to do it. So I'm probably safe for now. Kendi says, we need to work these group live stream divas. It's a lighter lift on everyone. Yes. And Donna says, yes, it's like compound interest though. Over time, people go back and watch your older videos and gain traction money-wise. Yes. But I mean, I think a lot of people feel like, and I could be wrong, but that once they get to the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours, they're going to get a paycheck every month. And that's just, I think, not what happens with everybody. And Paula says, I don't want commercials either. And Mrs. G says, it's just exciting to be reaching a milestone. It is, absolutely. And in less than a year, right? Because that just the milestone shows that you're doing something that people are able to engage with. And that's really, really nice. Paula says, yes, Gina, it's about the excitement. And Debbie says, I don't want any ads at all. And we don't have any choice in that, I don't think. And I don't really notice ads because I have the premium. So it's, I would have to look. I notice on some channels there's breaks. And I don't know if that's where the commercials would be put in or not. Donna says, YouTube is not a get rich quick scheme. No, it's not. Kendi says, Paula, do you have your lives in a playlist? And Donna says, I do YouTube more as a hobby. Me too. And Mrs. G says, YouTube puts ads on channel if you aren't monetized. I see them on my videos all the time. So you can see them. You can see the ads on your own videos. Like if you go through into manage videos and you play it from there, you'll see a commercial. Paula says, Kendi case some, but not all. We'll work on that. Kendi says, fingers crossed, I'm getting my first YouTube check this month. Weird, it's difficult to pinpoint what I'll get. And Kendi, how long have you been on YouTube? I know you are working your little booty off all the time. You're in this and in that and in this and in that. Paula says, YouTube is my hobby too. And Paula says, Kendi, Kay, I'm so happy for you. I am too, because I can't say that I work hard. I think I'm consistent, and I'm consistent. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed decorating. I've enjoyed getting a new desk. I've enjoyed so much about it. But as far as making my videos better, if somebody says the sound isn't good or the video isn't clear, that's great. But I mean, I am who I am, and my content is probably as good as it's going to get. This is G says, I only see them when I play it on TV or on my phone. Okay. Paula says, Kendi K, you work hard. You deserve monetization. Yes. Kendi says, well, I hope you ladies will join me for my birthday live stream channel next month in October. And we'll be having a game night this month, not scheduled, but you can get hours on your own. I don't know what that last part means. Paula says, Kendi, my B-Day is in October too. And Debbie says, I just noticed that one of my short stories has 166 views on there and 2 ads at the beginning, and there aren't on the others. Debbie, I told somebody about your channel yesterday. She is, her name is Mountain Girl with 4 numbers after it. And she was making comments to my channel, and she was talking about something related to what the video was about. And I said, you should record it and start a channel. And she said, no. She said, I don't like cameras, but she goes, I like writing. She goes, I write all the time. And so my enjoyment is making long comments back on the videos that I watch. And I said, oh, speaking of writing, and I told her about Simply Debbie Sue. So if you see somebody, Mountain Girl, somebody, then I told her to go listen to your stories and poems. Goodbye, Catherine. Thank you for stopping by. And Paula says she will be there. Kendi says, YouTube is my playground, but I'm monetizing my hobby, travel money. There you go. And you're also younger, Kendi. So by the time because you're turning 50, I think you said. So by the time you're 60, you'll be off and running on this channel, and you'll know exactly what you're doing, exactly how much to post and when to post. And yeah, it'll be great. Just imagine in 10 years. Debbie says, yes, Evie, she came over to my channel. Thank you. She is so kind. She's a very nice person. Donna says, bye, Catherine. I love that when you say, oh, if this is what you like, then try this. And they say they will, and then they actually do it. That is great. We are almost at an hour. Are y'all ready to hang it up? Or do you want to keep talking? Debbie says, yes, she was nice. Paula says, Kendi K turning 50 yet looks 35. She'll have to show her AARP card for her discounts when she gets there. Kendi says, learning as I go, started January of 2024, but only posted randomly. Finally saw I needed to use my slow months at work, so January till now. That's amazing. Paula says, let's find out where Kendi K wants to travel first. Donna says, my firstborn just turned 51. Feel old. Well, my oldest is not 51. He's turning 39 in November, but I can't even believe it. Bless you. I can't even believe it, because it doesn't feel like I'm old enough to have a 39-year-old. And 39, when I was 39, it felt like it was old. Mrs. G says, Candy K looks amazing. And yes, she does. But so do you, Gina. Or Mrs. G, sorry. And Paula says, Candy K, what's your first travel destination? Are you taking Mama? Candy says, work to fully monetize, and by God's grace, I did it because now it's my busy time at work till January. So, Candy, where are you going to go for your first trip? Are you going to wait till you're retired, or are you going to take a trip? Or how old do you want to be when you retire? You know, the other statistic that really scares me is people that retire. Some of them don't last very long after they retire. That happened to my ex-husband. He retired at 55 and he died right before he turned 60. Oh, okay. That's why Candy wasn't answering. She's got travel plans for birthday and it's a surprise. Okay. My goodness, what is in your nose? Shh, very quiet. Candy says, Paula, we're both Libras. Yeah, I don't know. He's got the sneezies right now. He was sleeping and now he's better now. He's probably sneezing for attention. Kidding. Oh, there you go again. Shh. Hey, stop sneezing, goofy boy. He's fine. Aren't you fine, Barry? Are you good? Yeah, you're good. You good. Well, my card's out. I'm out of words. Kitty says, my mama travels more than I do. She goes from house to house visiting her kids. Wouldn't that be the dream? Oh my goodness. Well, I only have one kid now, and he's 10 minutes away, so I may as well sleep here. Donna, you said you had a son turning 51. You just have the one child? Both. You've got two right there. Okay. Do you get to see them very often? Because things have changed. Cynthia at Senior Insights was talking about that today, how we don't see their kids as their adult kids as much. Hey, stop. See their adult kids as much as, like I saw my parents when I was a young adult. You know, we used to go to grandma and grandpa's all the time, and it just doesn't happen now. Yes, Kendi, the dog was sneezing. I don't know, he was asleep and he got up sneezing, and now he's trying to have a wrestling match. Guys, hey, and the toenails are so loud on this floor. Donna says, no, not really. Both are busy with their kids. It's like pulling teeth to get together. Yeah, my son, daughter-in-law, and their two boys came over, and her mom. So I don't know what she is to me, but my daughter-in-law's mother came over in July for a swim, like 9:30 in the morning, or 10, something like that, one day during the week. And my son stopped by to pick something up, and that was the only time this whole year that they've been here. And I don't know. I mean, I try not to be bummed about it, but at the same time, it's sad because I just wish that they would want to pop over and grill out, or, you know what I mean? If I go over there, I can see them, but it's, I don't know. I just wish it was different. And Donna says, I grew up seeing my grandparents weekly. Yes. Candy K says, after losing so many loved ones during the pandemic, I decided at that moment that I was not going to waste another minute of my life talking about what I was going to do when I retired. I'm going to try what Kendi also says. I'm going to try whatever comes into mind, like start a YouTube channel. And once I get my son out of college, that's my green light. Yeah. I feel like that's because my grandson was born the beginning of July of 2020. And that changed everything because, you don't go visit a lot of people anyway when you have a brand new baby. You just don't. It's not till like they've had their shots or whatever, 6 weeks. You just don't do that. But it just kind of perpetuated it. And I showed my grandson that's 5 yesterday his picture of me holding him as an infant. And I had a mask on and I said, look how long I've known you. Look how little you were. I've known you for 5 years. And he said, oh, that was cute. Why are you wearing a mask? And I thought about it for a second. And I said, well, when there's little babies around, the adults are worried about a lot of germs. So he'll find out soon enough that he was born during the pandemic. Donna says, I have shed a few tears over them not coming over, but I don't want to nag them to come. I know. You also don't want them to feel like bad if something happens, and you're not there anymore. And then they're like, oh, I should have went and seen mom. Retirement underrated. I can't remember if it's Tim or Rick. It may be Tim and I called you Rick I can't remember. I think it's Tim. I'm not sure. Hi, Evie. Just put you on my recommended channels. Thank you. Jonas's family drama. Tim, there we go. Okay. Did I call you Rick the last time you were here? I can't remember. I hope I didn't. I try so hard. I do have a cheat sheet of channel names with names. Oh, I did? Oh, so sorry. But I was talking to you, right? We've been talking about different changes that we have. We're softer when we get older. We're more patient and understanding and those kinds of things. And we had just gotten onto the subject of seeing our adult children and not seeing them often enough. So how many kids do you have, Rick? And do you get to see them often? Or maybe do you not even have kids? Some people don't. Kendi says, simple, you're blessed. Wow, you are doing that YouTube channel. That's amazing. And Tim says, thanks for the update. What do these little crown things mean? Because it did say Donna had the number 1 and maybe Donna left. No, hers says 1, but then Tim that just got here, his says number. What does that even mean? How do you get that? And not unless Tim has been here the whole time. Well, how come I've got 2 number 1s? Okay, maybe somebody knows. So Tim says he has 2 kids. Kendi says, that's the thing about it, Evie. These young folk don't adhere to those rules about babies and having them out and having folks over anymore, do they? Shaking my head. No, and man, we're missing out too. And so are the little ones. Donna says it ranks how often you talk. Oh, okay. Well, then how did Tim get a number 1 already? See, he says he just came on and he's got a number 1. Okay. Maybe because he said 3 things in between, and Debbie Sue said 1 thing. And he has a son that's 27 and a daughter that's 22. Yeah, it makes no sense. I know I had a little crown with a number on it at one point on someone else's live, and I was like, how did I get that? No idea. So, Rick, do you have any, I'm sorry, I did it again. Tim, do you have any grandkids? Donna says maybe it's recent talking or whatever YouTube thinks. Probably whatever YouTube thinks. Tim says, just a couple of live videos that was fun and interesting. Oh, okay. No grandkids, no marriages. Okay, that makes sense. And that's the other thing. The kids are having kids so late now. My son is going to be 39. I think his wife is a year or so, maybe two, younger than he is. Bless you. Before they had theirs. And Tim says, I am hopeful. Yes. And Kendi says, it's who represents your top chatters. It fluctuates. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Kendi. And Paula says, Kendi, now I have all the lives in a playlist. But do you think that's necessary? Because I thought about that, but when you go to the channel, it says videos, shorts, lives, posts, all that. Do you think it should still go in a playlist beyond just being under lives? And Donna says, I have 8 grands. Son has 6, daughter has 2. Oh my goodness. That's such a big family for these days, isn't it? Well, I'd have to say that the one with 6 probably is definitely busy. The one with 2, man, we've all done the 2. And I'm going to put retirement is going to read. I probably already have you on there so I can remember your name. I don't know why I can't remember that. It's embarrassing. That's what it is. It's embarrassing. Kendi says, good work, Paula. Now create a community post and call it your playlist of the week. Tim says, the live sessions are fun. I've had a blast. You might get a kick out of them. I share about why I wear suspenders and other embarrassing things. Well, imagine you're wearing suspenders because your pants will fall down. Paula says, I think maybe if some kind friend offers to play your playlist, maybe. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, turn it on and go to bed. I'm just kidding. But no, that way it would run through the whole thing. Not yours in particular to put it on and go to bed, Paula. That's not what I meant. It's all recorded there. So I hope that's not how you took it. Oh, and Kendi says, I hope there is a dishwashing diary playlist, ? And Donna says, yep, twins were in the mix. Number 5 and 6 were surprises. They are younger than the older 4. Oh, well, that's good. At least there's a break. Oh, my goodness. Twins, and then you have 2 more. Whoa. I have myself, my sister 2 years later, twins 2 years later, and then the last one a year later, like 13 months. And Paula says, yes, I have dishwashing diary playlist too. And Tim says, big time, my older brother wonders what's wrong with me. And Paula says, Kendi, that's a long playlist. Your dishwashing diaries, Paula? And Paula says, Evie, I understand what you meant. Okay, good. Good. Because I know somebody was going to be on my live and I thought they meant that they were going to like take the live and listen to it while they walked. And no, they meant they were going to play the live and leave and walk. Whatever. It's all the same to YouTube, right? And Donna says, oh, gosh. Paula says, no, just lived in general. Oh, okay. I don't have that many. This might be 6. Kendi says, create playlists. It will make your content play in a loop. Like Evie, you have your own studio makeover videos. People love a good DIY room makeover. Yeah, I've got my playlist labeled different than, it's like I've got on my mind, doing stuff. Yeah. Home decor. I've got different. They broke up different than that. So Paula D does take us with her, or she leaves us at home. Donna says, I started playlists and put end caps on the videos referencing playlists. Keep them watching. Okay. I think I just do the suggested video. I'd have to look into how to do the end cap. I was helping my dad with his YouTube channel today. I don't know if any of you are Android users or not, but he's got the Osmo Action 5 Pro camera. And so we put it on the DJI app, but there's no way to do a voiceover on that. And we can't transfer any pictures he might have taken from his phone over to that app. So I was looking at InShot, and I know I can't remember what the name of it is, but anyway, to help him edit those, because all my stuff is Apple and I use iMovie. And Tim says, I'm amazed at the different countries that are watching. I have Vietnam, Mexico, and Canada. Better turn on translations. Well, they might be able to speak English. A lot of other countries can. Paula says, Dee takes us on her walks to get us watch hours. She's so nice. And she does the 3 comments too. I'm sitting back and listening. And then she does 2 comments about what your video is about. Kenny says, make 5 to 6 playlists. I have like 38 playlists. Your watch hours will grow real fast. Okay. I need to look at it because I set those up like in February and I've just gone, oh, that's close enough. And I add it. And Paula says, if I played my own playlist overnight, I guess YouTube would catch on and call me tacky. Tim says, God love Doug and that bathrobe. Oh my goodness. Yes, the last one I saw was where he came out of the house carrying the birdhouse in his robe. And she's worried about the hat. Let's see. Kendi says, great, Evie. I'll watch your playlist, your channel, your way. Well, I just didn't think of any other way to do it. Debbie Sue's laughing, and Paula says, gotta love Doug. Well, and Dee too. I mean, those 2 are crazy. And she is, I know a lot of people say, I don't like drama. Da, da, da. I like drama. I do. Let's get excited about it. Let's get worked up about it. And boy, Dee, she's in the number 1 spot for that. Donna says, who is Doug? I think I'm missing something. Doug is the husband of Dee, and their channel is called Dee and Doug Retired, I believe. And they are hilarious. See if I can pull it up really quick. And she will talk about I want to make sure I say this right because it's a compliment. It's not meant any other way. But she could take a 5-minute story and turn it into a 20-minute story, and you are engaged and watching until she gets the story out. So this is the name of the channel, is Dee and Doug Retired, and that's Dee in the car right there talking. And her title is, I was sick making soup, but what I saw at the grocery store, and if I hit it, it's going to play and my earbuds are going to switch. But she has I imagine she has a lot. She has 908 videos, 3,000 subscribers, 3,100 subscribers. And yeah, she's a dramatic gal for sure. But she's very, very loyal, very kind. I don't know. I just like her a lot. I think a lot of people do. So her husband, his name is Doug, and were they going to the casino? I think they were going to the casino, and he was wearing a hat. I don't think it was a raccoon. It was some sort of an animal. The face was right here, and then the furry body, and then it had this tail. And she wanted him to take it off, and he wouldn't take it off. They were in the car leaving with this crazy hat on. And Paula says, really, Kendi, I didn't know that about the algorithm. Tim says, yes, about the flowers bought at the grocery store. I'm that guy. She is fantastic. And yesterday I went to the store and I saw a guy, it was at Kroger. I saw a guy getting into the car with his pickup into the cellophane. The flowers were in the cellophane wrapper, and he was getting into a truck that he had to put the key in the lock and the hood on it. The paint was all peeling off. And I just thought that was probably the best that he could do. And I wondered if Dee would cut him a break for buying the flowers at the grocery store. Donna says, my mom talks like that. Takes an hour to tell a 5-minute story. But this is engaging. She's very engaging. Kendi says, Paula, I talked about your dishwashing diaries in a video coming up. Editing. And Tim says it was a raccoon hat? Okay. I don't remember stripes on the tail. And Debbie says, yeah, it was a raccoon, I think. And Paula says, thanks, Kendi. I appreciate that so much. And Kendi says, Shop Talk, live Q&A for creators 3 times per week. Well, at least 2 times a week. And Tim says, I get flowers for my wife and daughter. Aww. Debbie says, I don't think she would. I think that's what she means to say. And Tim says, the most I can afford. Aw, that's nice. Kendi says, we all need to learn how to tell longer stories. I think it's a comfort level thing because if I'm telling a story to one friend, I get very into the story. But if I'm telling it on here, I try to shorten it. I always have the feeling when I'm talking that I'm taking up too much time. Shorten the video down. Like right now, the live is an hour and 20 minutes. And I'm like, I need to let these people go. I need to stop talking. And I don't know where to cut it off because I look at the number of people here. It says 6, it was 9, it was 8. Does that mean people are dying off and they want to, not dying off, you know what I mean? They're leaving. So should I stop it now? So the people are like, I'm not going to her live. She's on there half a day. Okay, let's go back here now. Paula says, Kendi, okay, I can learn a lot. Need to watch all episodes. Donna says, I'm listening. Tim says, yep, the best for my wife and kids. I love sacrificing for my family. It's a great joy. Yeah, I remember having to do that, Tim, like when my kids were little. I remember one day in particular, I had worked. My son was with my husband, my ex-husband, and my daughter was with me. And I had $7.28 to my name. And I had to stop at Popeyes and get her a Happy Meal for dinner. And that was all the food that we had in the house that night. So, of course she ate and I didn't, but you have to do that for the little ones, especially. Donna says, I edit my videos a lot, afraid I'm talking too much. Yep. And Kendi says, my Kroger has a huge floral department. They have 4 florists working. I get my flowers at Sam's Club or Costco. And Tim says, live videos go quickly. I understand. Yes. And as far as the floral things go, I did make a comment to Dee about that. I think it was on that video, but when I got married the second time, it was 2008, and I didn't want to plan a wedding. I wanted to get married, but I didn't want to plan the wedding. And so I told my husband now, I said, go ahead and plan the wedding. Let me know where it's going to be and when it is, and I'll show up. So he planned this thing. It was outdoors on some friend's property with a pond and a gazebo and everything. And we had a big cookout and we fished and we laughed and I don't know, it was so much fun. But I stopped at Kroger on my way out because we drove separate cars, and I bought my flowers and cut them up, put some floral tape on them, and they were fine. And Kendi says, yes, live on YouTube is a lot. Stay online if people are here. Keep talking. Okay, well, I've dropped to 5. But I do have 4 likes. That's good. My coffee's cold. Donna says, love your second wedding. I do too. And he is so sweet. He's the one that sends me all the little mushy videos, little mushy memes, and I'll send something nice back to him, but he always initiates it. He's so sweet. Let me see. I don't know if I just read that to myself or not, but Donna says, love your second wedding. It was very nice, very low key. Tim says, am I the only guy here? If so, love it. I will be the token guy. Well, but if you think about it, Tim, you just said that you buy flowers for your wife and daughter. You're just good at hanging out with women. So that's a plus. It's a compliment. And Kenny said the flower lady at the farmer's market, doesn't come. I missed something. And Tim says, I love your channel. If you're talking to me, thank you. Debbie says, I don't care where my husband gets my flowers. He picks them on the side of the road and I love them. See, that's so nice. Donna says, I just totally forgot. Oh, thank you. Paula says, Peter is usually our only guy. Or we had Ace on here in the beginning. We had 2 the last time. It was Peter and I can't remember. And I forgot Peter was on and I started to talk about stuff that was intended for females that could relate to it. Candy says, simple second wedding. That makes me smile too. I have to admit, my first wedding was almost the same. We decided we were going to get married and we were 18. And my dad went down to a city park that you couldn't make reservations at. And he about knocked my drink over. He taped it all off. And we set up some tables and chairs and so on. And he paid the pastor $20 back then. It was 1981. And I literally got on the phone, a regular house phone. And I said, hey, I'm getting married, blah, 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 blah. It's 2 weeks away. Come if you can. And that was my wedding invitations. And then, there was just a big party afterward at somebody's house. And then we drove to the beach that night. And Donna says, it's the thought that counts. I think she's referring to Debbie's husband. And Candy says, I take flowers from anyone. I remember my sisters bringing flowers to my mom one day, and they were beautiful, big, thick, flowers you need to cut, not just pick. And she's like, where did you get these flowers? Did you get these out of somebody's flower garden? And they're like, yeah, over there at Mrs. Such and Such's house. She's like, you can't do that. But anyway, they were beautiful. Tim says, I do love hanging out with the ladies. Hope my wife doesn't beat me up. She will be home from work soon. I am a kept man. Well, you better get off then. Although it is recorded here for history, but I think everyone has behaved themselves. Donna says, well, I need to go. Bye, everyone. And Kendi says, oops, hadn't thumbs you up to you either. Well, guys, it's an hour and a half now. I am going to call it quits. I appreciate everybody being here. And I did make a post this time, and I don't think anybody responded to it. So I think wing your lives, unless you're popular and everybody's like, oh, I have to get there. But if you're just little like me and you feel like doing it, just hop on there and it works. Okay, thanks, everybody. Bye.